Yeah, if we want to
Talk about that.
turn to some more hopeful aspects of what of that, as you say, so many people are in line with the idea that there needs to be major changes to all our governments and all our leadership. And so we have tomorrow, both at 4 p.m. Eastern, the People's Convention, which is at this point has which is from the Movement for People's Party, which basically has at this point, where's the list of speakers? It's like Dr. Cornel West, Nina Turner, Jimmy Dore speaking, Marianne Williamson. Who's that? Who's the senator that ran in 2016? Older guy. I can't remember. Oh, here we go. Marianne Williamson. Mike Gravel speaking, which is
really?
Oh yeah, Jesse Ventura actually just came on, and Chris Hedges is speaking. It's going to be absolutely must-see TV if like nothing before.
And it will be totally ignored, I'm sure, in the mainstream.
And Nick Brana, and so you're going to want to tune into that.
So it is going to be virtual, right?
Yeah, it'll be a YouTube kind of thing. If you've been active in the People's Party, there's a Movement for People's Party app. I don't think you necessarily have to be active in it, but if you go and you sign up quickly, even today, you get the Movement for People's Party app, and I think there's going to be some voting for things platform-wise during it on that. Also tomorrow is the vote for Articles of Unity. So basically what we're talking about is there's a movement to have one person from the left, one person from the right, so we get by this this hatred, and we basically rule from the center, and basically there's like 3 conservatives, 3 more liberal folks that have been nominated. So Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, Jesse Ventura, then Admiral McRaven, Dan Crenshaw, who's a rep from Texas, I believe. Also, he was a Navy SEAL, and John Jocko Willink, who is also a Navy SEAL. I've seen him on like Joe Rogan with Tulsi. I'm not exactly sure to his background, but so essentially they're going to be picking one from the left, one from the right. Voting for that is tomorrow. The duopoly is worried because I was telling Steve before the show, they actually shut down Articles of Unity Twitter yesterday because they tweeted out, just say no to Donald or Joe. So they shut them down for that. I mean, and I couldn't post the articlesofunity.org website link on Twitter. It would come up like, oh, this is a dangerous site or something like that, because it is dangerous to them. So for 24 hours, they shut that down right before this thing is happening. So that's a whole lot of things that are really interesting that we can at least be slightly hopeful that movements are going to continue. I'm not sure what the future of the Articles of Unity is going to be after this, but Movement for a People's Party with Nick Brana and Nina Turner and people like that behind it is going to continue, and it's going to continue to be a force. So I think there's a lot to be hopeful for, that we can change all these things that are currently holding us back.
Well, especially if we're not invested in just one personality like Bernie Sanders. Like the idea is that you have a movement. It goes beyond a personality.
And I think. Yeah, go ahead. I think for a while, Movement for a People's Party was it spun out of ex-Bernie folks, and I think it was about drafting Bernie for a long time. And I think they're wide open. They're basically, we need to get good people in, and they're not even going to run anybody for president until 2024. They're going to go more grassroots level. That's kind of why I'm also supporting the Unity 2020 articles. Because basically they actually are pushing a candidate this year, saying we can't have Biden or Trump.
So these articles,
a lot of exciting things. Yeah,
this is not part of the MPP. Then this is separate. You're saying?
It is not. It's a completely separate effort to basically say this is much more focused on we need to govern from the center so everyone has a hand in it, so everyone works together rather than everyone demonizing the other side, even if it's just theater. So under the covers,
corporations and Eric Weinstein's idea.
This is actually Brett.
Brett Weinstein, right?
His brother, yeah.
Okay.
Brett
And
Weinstein, yeah.
you mentioned like a couple of names there, like so obviously Tulsi, who said she
Yeah.
won't run third party, and Crenshaw, who spoke
Yeah.
at the RNC.
Mhm.
So these people are,
And Jesse Ventura and Yang
but I mean,
and
I could see them running
Admiral
as,
McRaven.
but I mean,
Yep.
Yang has endorsed Biden, right? So I mean, like these people, if that unity, movement says Tulsi and Crenshaw should run or whatever, they're not gonna
Well,
accept any kind of
it's a huge
nomination, right?
wild card. I mean, if Tulsi is now, I mean, when is her term up? If she's no longer a,
January,
yeah, if
January of
she's,
next year. Yeah.
I'm not sure that she wouldn't. I mean, the idea is to appeal to patriotism. Sir, you need to serve your country, and I'm not sure, but I think like a Ventura kind of thing is much more likely. Oh, and also tonight on Moon for a People's Party has these Move for a People's Party, or one of them is having Jesse Ventura speak tonight. I think that actually might be Articles of Unity. Is they have like these campfires, so just be on YouTube. You look for Jesse Ventura campfire Articles of Unity. He's on with them tonight talking about stuff. So
Okay.
that's all I got. I think there's a lot. I think there's enough people that are riled up that are continue to fight for reasonable government that represents us. So I think watch this space, continue to fight. There's a lot of reason to be optimistic.
So here's my two things. One is I don't understand the concept. I like the unity thing,
Right.
but I don't understand how they would actually run someone this year, because don't you have to be on the ballot?
They address that. They
Or they do like a
basically say
write-in.
they have that figured out. They also say I also know the plans around so that no one will be able to accuse them of being spoilers, because if they get to a certain point and they don't have at least like enough they're not polling high enough to be competitive, they're going to pull the plug on it. So they
We're
will
only
not
like
be
60 days away from the election.
Yeah, I know,
like,
you're right. You are talking the difference of weeks. I
yeah,
absolutely,
like I don't
yeah.
understand how this is actually something feasible, which almost makes it like, obviously if they would have done this, I don't know, like 9 months ago or something, that'd be different. But I mean, for you to be doing this now, I just don't understand how that would be something that can actually happen. I don't understand the logistics of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like that's where I'm stuck.
and I'm negligent in not having, because basically there is some discussion in there about the whole thing. How can you get on every ballot? And they basically say we've got this path figured out.
I'm
don't know.
wondering if it's that they're thinking that it's like a write-in type of thing. That if there's enough write-ins, then
Right.
you can like I think it's that you apply to be able to um, be a candidate with enough write-ins or something, like to qualify. I think it might be something along those lines. But so my other thing is that I really think, because you know how a lot of people have been saying, especially a lot of Tulsi people, they've been saying that they are thinking about just writing her in. And I've been like mulling this over for a little bit. And I feel like if I'm going to hold my nose and do anything, I think I'm going to hold my nose and vote for Green. Simply because I think the strategy really, truly should be, and especially for people that want to do the whole movement for a People's Party, you should vote for a third party. That's what really should be brewing right now, is a movement to coalesce
Yes.
behind a specific third party. And everybody who is not satisfied, which should be everyone, that is
Right.
not satisfied with the options of Biden and Trump, just so that we can get 5% for the third party, so that they can get federal funding, so that they can get on the debate stage, so that they can, you know what I'm saying? Because without all those things, we can't achieve anything. And it's always going to be running this, like, against all these hurdles, that it's just to get us started. You know what I'm saying? So I think honestly, the real strategy should be, and this is just my opinion, it should be for everyone to just back one third party, so that third party can finally get to the same status. That's the only way we're actually going to get rid of the Dems, honestly.
But unfortunately, that the Green Party just showed evidence of having the same kind of corruption and lack of fairness in the nomination process that we're fighting against, right? I understand your argument. I completely agree that I mean, I would like to see there to be a clear leader amongst all these various well-intentioned efforts to represent the people, and I think there should be a coalescing at some point. I also think everyone, as I would think everyone as an individual should consider what they should do, because, like, I know in our state, if you do a write-in, it actually doesn't get attributed to that particular person. It literally just goes into a box of others, is my understanding, right? So that's a legitimate way to register dissatisfaction with your options, but nobody cares. And there is something to be gained, as you're saying, if we were to all vote green, they get 5%, whether or not the Republicans and Dems ever let them on the stage.
Honestly, they can.
Yeah.
We can also. Or what if it's like the Greens and the Libertarians? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
all the Republicans that don't want to vote for Trump vote Libertarian, and
right.
all the Democrats, or all the lefties that don't want to vote for the Democrats, vote Green. That has to be the strategy, because honestly, we're dumbasses. That's why we're never going to get anywhere, because we don't have a fucking strategy. We're all just in our little bubbles being like, I'm morally superior than everybody else because I won't vote for Biden, or I won't do this. Dude, that's not going to fucking do anything. It's not going to change anything. We need to have a strategy. And unfortunately, everybody is just too on their high horse to actually come together and be like, we got to hold our nose. And I'm not going to vote Dem. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if I'm going to hold my nose, I'm going to vote for a third party. I'm not going to vote.
But you mean a third party? Like, first of all, if 5%, you do get the funding, but as far as debates go, it's like 15%, right? And they'll just make up new rules to keep them off the debate stage until it's like they can't deny it, like it's like 25% or whatever. So I mean, we're looking at, unless something radically happens, that's going to take a long time. And so I agree. Yeah, I'm probably going to vote Green for president, but you got to distinguish between the presidential race and the top versus down ticket, right? So if you have super progressives running for congressional seats, like you have Alex Morse in the first district in Massachusetts, I think it's important that you get rid of Richie Neal in that, so you have to distinguish there, because I mean, first of all, I don't think Green necessarily they don't have candidates down ticket for all of these offices. They may have for some, but I agree that at the top is a lot different than the bottom when you vote.
I mean, I'm just going to end up like watching everything, and if Joe Jorgensen or Howie for the Greens, like in Massachusetts, were approaching like 5% or something, or nationally or whatever, then I would probably just jump on that horse in the final days. I'm just going to watch. I'm just going to watch like who's making some headway. But that's agreeing with what you're saying, is we've got to go along and we got to coalesce around somebody that can make a little headway here at this point.
I have not received my mail-in ballot, by the way, and
really?
The primary is on Tuesday. We sent in our response, requesting mail-in ballots weeks ago, and have not received a ballot. I don't know about you guys. But
I'm also wondering if
I'm going to vote in person, so
I'm going to show up in person. I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to say, "Oh, you got a mail-in ballot, so we're going to give you a provisional ballot." I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah,
I'm wondering if we're going to be able to.
Your vote's going to go to Joe Kennedy.
Yeah, right.
I'm wondering if we're going to be able to vote ahead of time at City Hall, like usual, because that for being COVID safe, that whenever I've done that, you go in, there's nobody there except for the 2 people working there, and you vote and you're out, and you don't meet anybody, you don't get near anybody. So I might go that way. Or
I don't know if they in Quincy here. I think they had a sign. I mean, I think yesterday was the last day. I don't know if you can do it.
Oh, okay.
I think that was it. So I think I missed the vote on that one.
Oh,
so I'll have to show up and vote in person, and risk getting COVID or whatever. But
right,
the way it goes. Voting's very important to me. So
yeah. So I don't know. Like we'll see when it comes. I'm really excited for Movement for People's Party. I'm totally down for that. You know, obviously that's not something that they're doing for this election, but I really think for this November, the smartest thing to do. I feel like that is why the Tea Party was so successful. They were just very strategic in how they, you know, they went about everything, you know? And I think that that's what needs to happen. We need to have like a Tea Party on the left, but unfortunately, it's like I said, everybody's on their high horse and nobody, you know, no one wants to work with each other. So
and that Tea Party thing, like, still exists underground. Like, my neighbor's a Trump guy. I'll go over and have a beer with him, and he came off a bridge holding signs for Trump yesterday because this Tea Party network still exists, and somebody has a list out there, and they can pull 30 people to go get on a bridge on a Friday afternoon, you know.
See?
Well, the right always has its shit together. I have to say that, you know, that's just the way it is. And I see a lot more Trump signs around. I see like one pathetic little Biden sign, you know, on a front porch. And you know, after I've seen like
one Biden sign.
Trump Pence signs.
Yeah.